What it is, y'all, it is your old boy Pill, connecting back today with more Danmachi action. Now, we talked the other day, actually yesterday I believe, about this heroic trial. We need to talk about the new heroic trial, because this just came live last week, and I've spent my daily orb, so we need to do this. So, basically, this one, unlike the last one, is kind of looking for a fire team. Now, if you're wondering what to get out of this one, I'm kind of at the same place you guys are. I honestly think my favorite might honestly be Ray. I do like Aranos. I like what he does as an assist, but I've never, ever used him. I always tell you guys assists are great, but I've never used him. I've never used Fia. I really feel like Ray actually might be the best one here, because she's like a baby Haruhime. She does a few things that are pretty good. But if you're lacking these units, you're wondering why you're doing this, remember, this is like the one time you can farm up a bond that you can use for other things. So you could sell this bond for Dulb. You could do anything you want with this bond. This is a legitimate bond for one of these units. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in yesterday's video, if you are new at the game, these are bonds only. Just because you get this doesn't mean you have the unit. If you're lacking one of these units and you get the bond, you're going to have a bond you can't use. Now, you can sell it. You can get some Dulb. You can get some Cirrus and stuff like that. Check my multiple videos on the channel about what that's all about. But this is literally just a bond. And for me personally, I actually do need bonds of Ray, and I use Ray from time to time. So, my personal opinion, I think she's the one I'm going to be after. But let's go ahead and talk about the EX mission and what you need to do. Now, this one is pretty straightforward. Not going to lie. This one is literally just a fire team. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and grab that Lily because I had it set to AoE, not single target. Now, literally just build your best fire team, go in here, go ham, let's get into it. It's pretty honestly easy. Now, with this one, I am using Line once again to do 33% SA gauge charge. We could put Haruhime in the front, who does the same thing, but because this boosts our critical rate, our counter rate, and things like that, I do like her there. Plus, and to be honest with you, I just don't know whether Sax I would use in this situation. And this was a reserve team that I had built up. As you'll note later on, it's not a huge deal. If you're looking for like defenses and stuff like that, you can do it, but I don't think we're going to need them. And I'll show you why. So, we're going to do the 33% of gauge charge. Everybody else is just going to kind of buff themselves. Lily, the one big downside to her is she does kind of do that physical debuff thing to herself. So she does hurt herself a little bit in that regard, but I don't think it's going to be a massive deal here. Now, one thing to be aware of, these units do buff their magic skills, but you'll see why that's actually an awesome thing, and we're going to take advantage of it. But first, let's just kind of continue with our build stack. So here, we're going to do a single target attack here. We're going to go ahead and continue our buff and debuff stack. The usual, really, and move on. Now, this one will do a high fire magic attack with 120% per target strength and magic buff skill. Remove strength and magic buffs. So I don't want to remove those quite yet. And we don't really have a magic resist or anything like that debuff on them. So we're going to kind of do this a little bit. Now, that will remove their magic buffs, and it won't be a big deal. Like, basically, once their magic buffs are gone, any kind of threat they posed is kind of null and void. But you will see, like, basically, since it's a physical debuff, that big debuff that Lily does for herself is kind of pointless. Like, these units are not scary because they are just magic units. So her physical debuff is really not a threat. So we're going to go ahead here, we're going to do Dawn Wind, and then we can just switch over and start doing single target attacks. Now, Welf is great. He does 80% for each target's fire resistance skill. Since we've debuffed fire resistance on two sides, he's going to hit like an absolute truck. Lily, she's going to go ahead and do hers. Here she gets 70% for each self-buff skill, and she's got 2 strength buffs. She's going to hit like a truck. Now, I really adore Tiona. I want to use her SA because it does 150% damage per each strength and magic buff skill, then removes strength and magic buffs. But I'm going to be honest here, I need to hold off just because I basically want to get at least a triple SA with her, just, you know, to kind of flex her a little bit. So we're going to do Dawn Wind, and I'm going to go ahead and do her skill too. Now that will remove the magic buff on Rey, because I'm going to target Rey in this situation. It honestly doesn't matter which one you target. I don't think one's a bigger threat than the other, and I don't really perceive either one of them as a major threat. So, you know, we got rid of the magic buff on Rey. On the next turn, I can actually get rid of the magic buff on Fia. Pretty straightforward stuff. And since Haruhime does have everything good to go here, let's see. Our debuffs. Ooh. Our debuffs have fallen off. So I will need to reapply those debuffs. I can use skill 3 with Haruhime to make sure the debuffs go back onto them. So let's go ahead and reapply debuffs here. Okay, fire resistance down 30%. Sorry, 40%. And she has guard and counter rate. I don't really need that. I can go back to do her single target. And I can go up here and do the magic and fire resistance 35%. Pretty straightforward stuff. Now, Fia still has her magic skill. And I'm going to keep an eye on Rey to see when she rebuffs her magic skill. But, I mean, if I turn icons off, Rey is pretty much done. Rey's having a really rugged time at the moment. So, let's see. Did she rebuff? She's now rebuffed her magic skill. And Fia's magic skill actually fell off. So I'm going to just keep doing skill 3 with her. And everybody else is going to kind of go back and do their skill 3. It's really not going to be that big of a deal. We're going to do Blowing Wind. And I'm going to focus on getting rid of Rey. I don't know why. Doesn't really matter too much. Just, you know. I mean, at this point, I am pretty much picking on a unit. Like, this is... Okay, so they got their magic buffs back. So, this is interesting. Rey is not going to survive this turn. Very simply put. So, I'm going to go ahead and do Crimson Slash. We're going to do all single target attacks. We don't need to do any kind of debuffing again. Debuffs are good to go. Haruhime's Dawn Wind, I will rebuff. I don't even know if I really need to do it. In fact, I don't. So I'm going to keep doing Blowing Wind. You'll see why I say I don't need to do it here in just a moment. Okay? Alright, so hopefully we have a triple next turn. Because I don't know if... if they're going to survive a turn enough to make this worthwhile. Okay, so we did get a triple. So I'm going to go ahead and do Haruhime's essay. I'm going to do Welf's essay. I would love to do hers. I'm going to do her single target attack, and I'm going to go ahead and do her essay. Remember, hers is 150% per each single target buff skill. It is what it is. Fia has kind of bit the dust here. Okay? Remember, Welf is doing 100% fire attack damage. His attack isn't the greatest thing, but... Boom, 2.5 mil. And what's really funny here is we actually would have gotten a much bigger attack, and I mean a much bigger attack, had I used Dilly Lily in there, because she has a bigger debuff. It is what it is. There's more effective debuffs, but as you can see there, you know, you can wipe them out pretty quick. Who did I lose? Who did I lose? I don't remember losing anyone. And it doesn't matter. This is cumulative, so basically what I can do is I can come out here and just go ahead and use the previous skill flow. And then if I really want to, I just go back in here and run it again, this time doing an auto run. And it'll basically, you know, do the same thing over and over again. I don't know who I lost. I must have lost... I don't think I lost Welf. Maybe we lost... I don't know. Line? I don't know. I don't know who we lost. It's weird. Because I didn't think we lost Welf, because Welf... Anyway, doesn't really matter. All I've got to do now... Anyway, now I'm just annoyed. Now I'm just annoyed. Basically, all I've got to do is just got to auto-run this and get one where we don't lose a member, which... kind of agitated by that. It might take a couple of turns, whatever, it is what it is. It is not cumulative. Basically, so long as I get a run where nobody dies, we're good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and babysit this, get that run out, get that S clear. But as you can see, this is super simple. Just build yourself a good fire team. If you don't have a fire team, you have that maximum broken water team I told you guys about. Utilize that. You'll be good to go. Get your S clear and use those skip tickets to get the rest of your numbers. You'll be good to go. Like, comment, share. Super easy. Catch you guys on the next one.